I do honestly like really do mean that like I do appreciate your viewpoint on a lot of things.
You know, man, I'll tell you this right now. I vibe a lot with, and sorry to say this, because you know my age. You know I'm 27. And I know what again?
I'm not gonna say it out loud.
I mean, you told me already.
I know, but let's just not say it out loud.
Okay,
Let's
cool,
keep
cool,
it
cool.
going.
Okay, cool, cool. All right, we ain't gonna see. Um, and I vibe a lot better with older women,
I
and and throughout my whole dating history, all I date are older women that I like. Obviously, I like my woman, looking good and attractive, and so that's what I've always drawn to, and I get along with them a lot better than the younger women. Not saying that I haven't dated younger women and I have an issue with dating them, but older women is just like my. I mean, it is what it is. Like it's a go. It's they know what they want and I know what the fuck I want. So yeah, it's a go. I'm not. Look, I'm not. I don't have to like do to go to heaven and come back to earth to get some pussy. I'm not fucking doing that. I'm not doing that shit. Like, but we're going on a date. We have a great time, and I don't force women to what they not. You know what I mean, what they don't want to do. But it's like usually like we're going on a date. We have a great time, and I let them know what it is with me, and then usually if some shit goes down, usually it'll go down the second night. If it's not the first night, the second night, and I end up dating that woman. I don't just leave that woman and date someone else. No, it usually like if I take you on a date and I know that like if we get a crack in the second night or even the first night, I'm dating you. And so usually that's how it goes with all the women with me, and it always work out for me. And so
Oh, you know what? Like, I guess, like, I mean, like, if we're gonna get the conversation going, I
right,
guess it's more like, like thinking back about like the old school ways where like we didn't have like such easy access of like getting to different people where we have to get to know one person, you know?
right,
And for us, like, I mean, for me, I'm not even gonna say for us because like people who are my age, they like to date like that. I know, it's so sad. I know. But they do like to date like that. However, for me, like I like to build on connection. Connection is everything to me.
right, right. No, that's true. That's true. Um, I value connection. I'll tell you this though. I don't do one night stands just because I need to know who you are. I don't do
Hmm.
one night stands. I can't even. I don't care how bad you are because I come across finer women. I just can't do one night stands because I need to have a feel for who you are first.
Yeah. Nope.
Then and otherwise it's not gonna work out. See what I'm saying? It is just for me. But I could kind of tell if there's a connection there, off of the first or the second night. But now check this out though. Before we go on a date, I'll talk to the person. Let's say, all right. So let's say you was at a grocery store. I seen you. I'm like, damn. I'm in. I'm like, hey, what's your name? What's your name, baby? What's your name? Well, I got your number. Cool. Um, in the meantime, we'll talk a little bit. See what I'm saying? We'll talk a little bit. Maybe we'll FaceTime a little bit. Uh, um, you know, um, just to kind of see if we have anything in common.
Hmm.
And then for that, I'll be like, well, I'm off this Thursday or this Friday. When are you off? And then off of that, we'll go on a date. And because we had already built a connection off of, I mean, that's how I know that the date will likely be successful.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more connection. See what I'm saying? That's me. That's how I do it.
Well,
I value connection.
it's more organic versus the dating website. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but it depends. Like you see how I put up on the live, and then we had such a great conversation. that's the type of person that I am. I'll I'll try to have a great conversation with you, and I'll try to get to know you a little bit. Sometimes I might say something out of line just to see if the person um
How they react?
right, and off of how you react, that tells me that you take life too seriously. You like to act a victim.
Mm-hmm.
Um, things of that nature, and also too, I need to find out that you don't. Not everything's too serious because if you this life is if you take everything too serious, you're going to die early.
Uh,
And,
yeah.
and
No,
so
if you take everything too serious, yes, 100%. But if you're not willing to weigh out everybody's like expression, you also like lose out on. I mean, when I it's not expression, like it's more like you gotta view other people's viewpoints too.
I
Like
do,
so big about that.
I
Yeah.
do,
So that's why I told you, I go, I could see your viewpoint and a lot of the things that you say, and it's very fair. 100%.
right,
Yeah.
right. So no, I do, I do. I like. I have not disagreeing with anything you say.
What is that supposed to be?
I'm saying that I understand you. I understand where you're coming from. Um, and because I try to be open minded to understand
That
what you mean and what you say. I mean, so I'm the same way too. I'm the same way. But I don't just because I kind of analyze the person doesn't mean that I'm thrown off by how they come off. See what I'm saying? Because there could be a reason as to why they're like this. I mean, but
hmm
again, I always find a common ground, and then we'll go from there. It's just me.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's just it's just a date or something. I think this is a fucking date. It had to be a date. It had to. it
Hold on,
had
hold on. You're supposed to wine and dine me.
to.
No, but you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm all about picking the brains. Like, and you're answering everything. Like, I do like when people are like answering the questions that I'm asking, vice
Yeah,
versa. Because the thing is, like, I like to know what you're thinking about. I really do, and that's just me. You
right.
know?
You
Yeah,
you come
but
ac-
huh?
you come across as a very feminine woman.
I would like to be, but I'm put in a position where I can't be.
Well, you come off as that. So I don't know, which is a good thing. Which is I'm saying like when I say you come off as a very feminine woman, that means like I'm talking, you didn't fucking talk at all. You waited till I'm done talking, then you talk. And I like body language, body movements.
Are you saying we're vibing? Are you saying we're vibing?
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I that yeah, that's what I yeah yeah
You
yeah
know,
yeah. That's what I think. Now you tell me if that's a true uh, you know statement. I don't know. You tell me.
no, I am all about ears. Like, I am a huge communicator. Like, I would tell you how I feel, but
Mm,
you also have to allow me to feel safe into telling you how I feel, and which you do.
okay.
Yeah.
So that already tells me what you're saying, so that I get it. That already tells me what you're saying. It's cool. That that already that already tells me that
What did
already
I say?
what you're telling me is because you see how you say know you want a man to allow you to express yourself and feel safe in that area, and you say and you do. That's all I needed to hear.
Oh, okay. No, I feel
I'm
like
just fucking with you.
I feel like most women, like when they feel safe in that environment to express themselves, they will. They
Mm,
will. And
right.
apparently, I feel that way with you. So
That's
I'm
what's up.
expressing that.
That's
But
what's up.
yeah, but like it is that. It is that. It's to feel safe in order to express like how we're feeling without, and I will listen. Like I will listen in order to for you to express how you're feeling, but at the same time I want that reciprocated. And
Oh yeah,
you did do
uh,
that. Good
a
job.
hundred, 100% of times. I will tell you this. I will tell you this. Okay, because I want you to know this. Don't look at my content and go off of my content
I didn't.
because
I
okay,
didn't.
because my content is fucking wild, and I'm pretty sure you know this.
Yes, yes.
But that's not that's totally a different
No,
person.
I didn't. But like I told you that like I could see your equal balance of everything. And I really
Right,
do mean that. Like I'm not just saying that. Like I could see where you're coming from, but I could
right.
also see where the other person's coming from. And there's nothing wrong with that. There
Yeah,
really isn't. There's
yeah,
opinions in everything.
yeah, and
And
everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
I told you, there is good guys and there's also bad women. There is, which is
Right.
why we live in the system of like, oh, you have to reach all this stuff to qualify for these things. Because the thing is that, like, yeah, everybody plays the system, you know,
Yeah.
plays the victim. And I 100% agree with that, you know? That's why, like, when I was looking at your content, I go, I could see, I understand. What?
So some people look at my content and they kind of judge based off that, but
I, I,
it is it
I
is what it is.
there's an equal balance of everything, you know, like an equal balance of vibe, an equal balance of opinion from, and that's why I told you that like the issue lies upon like the issue, but when we categorize it, it's not okay because the thing is that a lot of times society likes to categorize things within male or female or like racism, and it's not that. The problem is the problem, right?
Hmm.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm listening to you.
Yeah,
I'm
but the problem is the problem, and that's what needs to be identified, not categorized, right?
right. That's true. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. You say you're in Texas right now?
I'm in Cali.
Yes, you did say yeah. You said California. What time is it now?
It is almost 12:30
Like in the morning?
in the morning.
Okay. Oh shit! It's 3:28 right now for me. So you're like 3 hours away from me, really. Uh,
I am.
that's tough. Okay. Um, Let me think of a great question.
Am I making you think about things? This is
Uh,
good. This is good. I'm making you think.
yeah. I'm thinking of a good question.
Okay.
But if you could think of something though,
Okay.
shout it out.
Let's see.
Um, what
Wait.
do you think?
hmm
Go ahead.
No, you go first.
All right. What do you think about marriage?
I know we kind of touched bases on marriage. Like I am newly out of the marriage that I've been in for 14 years. I believe in marriage. I really do. But I also believe in unity. I also believe in equality. I don't believe in the 50-50, and I told you that because the thing is that there is going to be a lot of times where I can't give you 50-50. There's going to be a lot of times where you can't give me 50-50,
Right.
and that like we are a partnership where we have to work in order to build each other up. Like I do believe in that, and for being in a marriage for as long as I've had, like I was drained. I was totally drained, where like I'm giving more and I'm still giving more, and but the thing is that like I will always give you what you need to give, and that's what we got to understand. It's just that like in a marriage that like we there's no such thing as a 50-50. There's none. Like emotionally, physically, financially, because what happens if you go like disabled and that kind of stuff? Like you can't give 50-50. It's the fact that you're truly investing in that person, and that person know that I got you, and that other person know that I got you. Because again, at the end of the day, like looks and anything like that, like all of that shit fades, physical and all of that. But it's the knowing that truly internally that you have that person's back is what's important.
Copy, copy, copy. Let me ask you this though. With the 50-50 thing that you say, um, what 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 do you think of when you think 50-50 or 100-100? Is it because mostly because and I'll tell you this, I feel like that conversation is solely when people talk about it, it's solely financial in a way.
I
You know
don't
what I'm
talk
saying?
about it solely financially. I don't. I think
Okay.
about it more of in general. Because
In
the thing is,
general.
what people don't realize that when you add a child involved with that, that shit is hard. That means like taking them to sports, taking them to all of that. And sometimes like that person, depending on like what job they have, it drains the shit out of them, you
True.
know? And it means that the other person has to pick up, or vice versa, the other person has to pick up. Like we take turns battling that thing. The thing is that again, it's a
Yeah.
partnership.
Yeah. 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 Sure. True.
Yeah.
True. True. Okay. So it's a partnership. Um. So would give me a scenario of what you think 100 means versus 50-50.
I think 100 means that
So it's like you come home from work. No, no. I come home from work and you come home from work, right?
mhm,
But you're not hungry, but I'm hungry. What would you do?
I got you, babe. I mean, I've been the stay-at-home mom, I've been the working mom, and I've been all of that. Like, if I get home first, that means that I'm prepping for food and dinner because the thing is that I'm the first one home, you know? But that also means that if I'm
If I
prepping,
come home.
huh?
No, no, no. Good, good. I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening.
But that also means that I'm prepping to make sure that you're fed. So that way you could go, hey babe, I got the dishes. It's cool because you prep everything. That's how I look at life because we gotta balance each other out because we don't live in that society anymore where men work full time or where female work. We don't live in that society. Like we are a combined partnership where we can't afford to live that way because the thing is that there's no such thing as one income unless you're like making a shit ton. But by
Right.
all means, nobody's living that way anymore. But it's that partnership where I got home first, I'm gonna get all this prep, and then you go, oh, I got the dishes. It's cool, you know? But it's it's that 50-50 because like there's not a lot of stay-at-home moms anymore. There's not a lot of dads that's like providing because if the guy is providing, yeah, I 100% agree that like I should get all that prep. However, the guy should also realize that there's no such thing as weekends and holidays that the girls get off because we're also taking care of everything too. So that's where the balance needs to happen because the thing is that we don't live in that society anymore. We don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that was so me coming home from work and then you come and cook whatever. So that was the 100%. So that was the 100 scenario, right? I would think so. Okay. Now give me a 50-50 scenario.
A 50-50 scenario is that, like, that's really hard to answer for me because for me is that like I'm still in nature like a mom. I'm still in nature of someone who takes care of my husband, where I will wake up early on the weekends to make sure my kid is taken care of, wake up on the weekends to make sure that my husband has breakfast. However, I guess if it gets towards the end of the night where the emotional aspect lies, where I'm like, hey, I want to watch this. Can we watch what I want to watch? And I guess that's where the 50-50 comes, where you feed onto it, you know? Because as a woman, natural providers, we are always going to be that way.
Right.
As husbands, we want that from you guys. So a 50-50 is that I will wake up early on a Saturday, even though I didn't sleep and we slept late, and I will provide for you and I will make sure that you're fed and everything like that. But emotionally, we want that part. And that's our 50-50 because emotionally, most men don't match that, because they look at things more physically and it's normal, because the thing is that as men, you guys are providers, you know, versus physical providers versus emotional providers is what I look at as a woman.
Okay, so you're saying the 50-50
Well, it's
mean
more of an emotional kind of aspect.
it's you think okay, you think that the men are not putting a lot of emotional thoughts on the woman
Hmm. I do.
and what and the scenario that you give me would be at the end of the day he should he should be watching the same show as you.
It shouldn't be the same show, but it should be the emotional level of cuddling, the emotional level of, I got you, babe, the emotional level of appreciation, you know?
Okay, give me give me like a general okay, because when I say 50-50 though, the way that I'm seeing 50-50 is like
Financially, right?
I think yeah, I think that's the way that I'm looking at it because I think everything else could be fixed. But and I'm this era, I think mostly what I'm what I'm seeing on social media a lot more is like it's like if for example, I'm pretty sure you know if a woman, let's say if a woman be a stay-at-home mom, right, and the guy pays all the bills, right, and then a divorce happened, the woman could say that, well, I stayed home the whole time, so I don't have a career. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But he paid for everything. The woman could have at least made maybe come up with a solution. Maybe say, well, baby, look, I could do 1 day working somewhere or 2 days working somewhere, but they never say that. They just go along with it. But because she wants to use this as a way to, seems saying, gain more of a financial thing in court. So they present this as a way that it's like, well, now it's terrible that now she's a stay-at-home mom. And so this is where men look at 50-50. They be like, well, you know what, now I want you as the woman to kind of works, have a little work to at least it doesn't at the let's say if a divorce ever happened, it doesn't look like, oh, I fucked you over, or it was my fault that you stayed home. That and people and that's what I talk about, the victim mentality. People will use something that was great and they turn it into something that's super evil to
Yeah.
the point where it's like people now don't trust what was one time amazing and what was. So when I say 50-50, it's more so like she has to do something. See what I'm saying? She has to at least do something. Me personally, the way that I think about it, if I get a woman pregnant, I understand for the first couple, whatever, 2 or 3 years, okay, you can stay home, whatever. Get the kid, I mean, situated. But
But at the same time, you are giving her the opportunity to stay home. Does that make sense?
right,
Yeah,
right,
no,
right.
that's an appreciation. But when people don't take that as an appreciation, which in one of your videos that you said, I totally agree with that, but at the same time, it's vice versa, where the male doesn't take that as an appreciation of the woman sacrificing that she's staying at home in order not to build. So that's where like it's an equal balance. Like,
Right.
but society nowadays like don't look at that as an equal balance. They don't. That's why I'm telling you is that like, hey, if you get home before I do, yeah, like do something. But if I get home before you, babe, I got it. I'm gonna pop it in the oven. I got you. Because the thing is that like we don't live in that society where it's like we have where like the girls are like what did they call that? Like it's not home. Like it's called what are the homemakers?
Homemade. Oh yeah, they say. Oh yeah, they say. I cook and clean and make the house.
We don't live in that society anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because we can't afford to because the thing is that like financially we can't,
Yeah, we
so
can.
at the
Yeah.
same time yes, women are equal, however at the same time we're so us women should be so compassionate to the point where like because it's naturally embedded in us to make sure that everybody's taken care of, but vice
Right.
versa, you were supposed to pour into her cup so she could keep continue pouring, right?
Right. 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 Right.
uh, but
Right. Right.
but
That makes sense.
it's that balance, and I believe in that. I do believe that women do sacrifice a little bit more. I do because it's just us because we're more submissive, and I know that a lot of women hate that word, but it is the truth. It is.
I like me a woman that's submissive. I ain't gonna lie to you. Doesn't mean that she don't have a say so or anything.
No.
That's not what I'm saying. But I like like. All right, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I remember when I was dating this person, and I would be driving, and she would massage my neck. We're not together, right? We're not together anymore. Obviously, I'm a single man. I mean, we've been out of this for like the longest for years, and so that is one of the things that I still remember. See what I'm saying? Because it was something that has never been done. See what I'm saying? And that is part of being feminine to me, and for whatever reason, this is something that I now like. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting it from everybody that I date, but if it happens, I'm like cool. If it don't happen, but she shows her feminine side in another way, that's cool as well. But but I'm just saying that's one of the things that I actually did admire because I would be driving and she'd be touching my neck and I don't know, this is so sexy, and so that's one of the things that I actually love about a woman that's feminine because I feel like being a feminine woman means that you care you care about your man, you care about how he feels, and so in
Uh-huh.
return in return I think a man's supposed to show that same care, and I think a man's supposed to you know kind
Yeah.
of do show let the woman know that that she is she felt supported and obviously like we're human beings, so it's like sometimes somebody might slack a little bit. Maybe they might not caught onto something right quick,
Yeah.
but I think being in a partnership, meaning like understanding like yeah both trying to make that relationship work, I think that's how you get to know somebody. And you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
also, to another thing I'll say too, the reason that I most likely do not agree with the stay at home mom fully, because a woman will show you that she appreciates you by her actions. So if a woman say, "Well, guess what, baby? You take care of the big bills. I'll take care of these bills," that means the woman want to build with you. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not saying her staying home doesn't mean that she don't care for you, or she's not pouring in the relationship. But I feel like most of the women that stays home, it's like they take it for granted. See what I'm saying?
I'm gonna argue with that with
But
you.
go ahead. But go ahead. Let's go.
Because I'm gonna tell you,
What's up? Talk to me.
I I before I got pregnant, before I had my baby, I was a very I was a manager. I was young. I was a manager. I had shit going. We sacrifice as women to, because the thing is that like you sacrifice in order to let somebody lead us. The problem that we have as women is that when we let the wrong person lead us, the wrong person who is not going to provide for us and it's not going to lead us in the correct direction. Because I mean, as women, I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, like, this chat could go totally bizarre. We want a guy to lead us, like I do, but when the guy is not aligned in the right way to lead, and he's just like, I got you. And he's doing everything selfishly. It's hard, because the thing is that us, we know that we could lead the right direction in order to provide for our family. Because again, like as women, we will provide, we will always provide. But when we allow the wrong person to provide, that's
Right.
the issue. And again, like we shouldn't generalize things, we shouldn't categorize things. It's the allowing the wrong person to lead, But if you are the right person to lead and you go, babe, I got you, just make sure you take care of this up. Because I was the stay at home mom where when my ex came back, he could smell dinner cooking. His kid was taken care of, everything was taken care of. But at the same time, he couldn't take care of filling into my cup to where I could go, okay, I could breathe, you know, and I could take a break. And
What what
that's the issue.
what did he specifically though? What did he not? What did you feel like he didn't take care of?
He didn't take care of me when I was pouring back into him and our family.
What you mean
I
by that?
remember, okay, I'll give you an example. I remember because like again, as a person, as an individual, before the family, before the marriage, we're very individually, predominant, because we had to take care of ourselves, meaning we got our hair done, we did this, we did that. I remember I sacrificed everything where I go, my kid, my husband, I sacrificed everything where I remember I needed a haircut. I haven't gotten a haircut in like, I don't know, 2, 3 years. And he told me that, hey, it's not like you're going to go out there and work. But that's where I went wrong as a woman, where I let the person devalue me of where I'm at. And I hold accountability to that, And again, you talked about accountability. Yeah, 100%. We all hold accountability to
So you
where
let yourself go. You say
what happened.
you say you let yourself go or
No, I'm saying that I let myself allow somebody
okay,
treat me that way that I didn't deserve.
okay,
Yeah,
gotcha,
yeah, and
gotcha.
that's the hard part. And
Because he told you that it's not that you go out here and work, so you should have get your hair done and all
mhm,
that shit. Is that what you're telling me?
yeah, Yeah, that's exactly what I'm telling you. But as an individual, I know that I deserve that stuff because the thing is that I'm still a mom. I'm still working because the thing is that we are still working. I'm sorry, a stay-at-home mom is a freaking hard job because there's no such thing as holidays off, weekends off, none of that. Like a true stay-at-home mom, there's no such thing. No such thing.
Uh-uh.
Like we are on the clock 24 hours. There's no break. I remember going to work part-time and my part-time job was my break from the family. It really was. Even though I was earning income, it
Oh,
was
I see what you're saying. Okay.
it was a part-time break to take a breather, like, oh, okay, I'm doing this for me. Because the thing is that we forget to feed onto me, like to feed onto ourselves. And again, like this is something that goes back onto internal value.
This
It
shit going. This shit going on YouTube. I don't give a fuck. That whole conversation going on YouTube. That conversation going on. Hey, do you know that I could download this live right after this shit
but
going
is it
on?
not true
Fuck
though? It deals with internal value, internal value.
nah. I think I think this is. I think the whole conversation that we had is such an amazing conversation. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm putting this shit up on YouTube. No, but look, this is but this what I tell you though. Um, if you get your channel straightened out, I could tag you. I'll be like, I could be like, I'm gonna tag your name though. I'm gonna tag your channel. So then they probably gonna end up going to your channel. I'm just letting you know.
I'm still building, but I'm so strong with it, with like the empowering because the thing is that like it doesn't matter about sex, it doesn't matter about race, like it doesn't.
Right.
Because the thing is that like it does deal with a lot of self-reflect. Like you gotta realize where you went wrong as a person.
Yeah.
And you also gotta reflect where you gotta move on,
True.
where
True.
you gotta build.
Do
That's
you?
why like when I looked at your content, I go, I can see the equal way. I could totally see that. Like I'm not judging any of that. No,
Um,
seriously. I'm not, I seriously took the time to look into it and I go, no, I seriously could see that.
my YouTube content or my TikTok content.
Your YouTube content. I
You
did.
went to my YouTube.
Yeah, that's why I asked you. I asked you.
Damn.
I could
Dang.
see it in both ways. Like I could totally see it. Male figure, female figure, I could totally see it. But at the same time, like it comes back down to accountability, where you as a person need to grow. Right? Am I wrong?
I give it to you. I give it to you. The
Yeah,
under, the understanding part, because most people that they'll go on my YouTube. Oh nah, he hate women. Oh
no.
nah, he was. No, I don't. I don't hate women. That's what I date. Shush. That's
Again, it's the you're calling out and people are mirroring how they feel because the thing is that that's something that they need to work on.
right.
And it's 100%. And it took me a minute to work on where I fell as a wife, where I fell as a mom, and where I need to grow in order to move forward. Because the thing is that I don't want to be stagnant. I can't afford to be stagnant. I need to keep going. Because the thing is that I already know financially, it's me, and it's me moving my kid forward, and
Right.
that's where I'm at in life.
Right.
I'm not waiting for anybody to kind of go, oh, here you go. No, I'm not. I got to keep moving because at the end of the day, nobody owes us anything, right? I don't owe you anything. Nobody owes us anything. No, it's all about us wanting to grow. It's all about us owing us what we do. And
Right.
I
Right. Right.
100% believe that.
Let me ask you this. Let's say let's That's
Why are you laughing?
sorry. Let's say we were dating, right? How would you show me that you appreciate me?
For most men, it's the affectionate, like it's the feminine version. I would totally do that, and like I told you, it's just kind of like, but the male has to also respond in giving them a safe place to do that, where like they're vocalizing that, hey, this hurt my feelings, and you go, oh, okay, babe, I got you, and
Right.
they will also reciprocate to that, right? It's a give
Right.
and take.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 100% give and take. But most women don't feel comfortable. Most men don't feel comfortable to be vulnerable, and it's that's the thing. It's the vulnerability of feeling safe to be able to feel vulnerable to tell you like, babe, that shit pissed me off, and for her to go, hey, that pissed me off, and to truly understand and feel vulnerable and understand where they're coming from.
Is that how you would show me appreciation?
Yeah. I'm a good listener and I will always weigh out everything.
What would you
However,
like?
if you cheat and lie, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, but you did that, it'd be petty. But at the same time, like you can't expect to ask somebody for something when you can't reciprocate.
True, true,
Just
for
the
sure.
way it is.
What asking so more of is what would you do? Like what do you do to show a man that you appreciate him, or um, like
Me, okay. Men,
what things that what are the things that you would, and you could ask me the same questions after, but what are the things that you would do to show to a man that you appreciate him?
oh,
What do you do, or what
yeah.
would you do if we were dating?
Me? Affirmation. Thank you so much. Like I know you're tired. Like I'm tired too, but thank you. Or like waking up early and go, hey, I got breakfast going. I was a very scheduled woman. Like I am. Like I know that I gotta wake up early to make sure that my kid is breakfast fed,
Right,
to make sure that my ex had dinner. I mean, well, breakfast to go to work with him. Make sure that his lunch is packed. I still do all of that while working full time because the thing is that like even though he's a provider financially, I'm also a provider internally, and we balance that out. But when they're expecting everything, it drains you out and it's not reciprocated. That's tiring. Like a lot of women can't do that, and I get it because it is draining. It is very draining because at the end of the day, we are also working just as hard as men are. We are, because we're not stay at home moms, we're not homemakers, but yet we're still wanting to do that internally. And I still did that in my marriage. I did that. And at one point, after what I've been with this person for 17 years, at one point, I
that's
was
long.
also I was also putting out more, and I wasn't I mean, I wasn't getting anything poured back in my cup. I got tired. I got so tired. And then the fact that he said that I wasn't contributing. And I go, how? How wasn't I contributing?
When he comes home, was the house clean?
Yeah.
When
And
he
then,
comes home,
and then
what,
on top of that, like sometimes the house is messy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the house is freaking messy. And I'm over here picking up, and I'm like trying to do this because like it gives me anxiety because
right?
because it's my job. He goes, can you just sit down? And then he gets mad because I don't sit down because as a woman, we have a checkoff list where we go, are they fed? Okay, they're fed. Are they this? Are they that? Are they that? Is the house clean? Is this and this? Okay, tomorrow we have to go to work. And he got so mad where he goes, could you just sit down? I go, I can't because I'm supposed to take care of all of this and yet go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
If you ask me how I would show appreciation to women, which
Yes.
which what I was trying to actually hear, I didn't hear from you yet. But if you ask me how I would make sure that she get what she wants. I would make sure that she we go out shopping, what she likes to wear. I understand that women love the makeovers. Get her hair done. I would show appreciation. Like if we have kids, I would show appreciation by just like at least like maybe have somebody, maybe have a maid in the house, maybe for like a week. You know what I'm saying? To kind of like just give her that type of, like, okay, well, you know what, you just go and enjoy yourself a little bit. See what I'm saying? Um, it's everything that I see that has um a mental effect on her. And meaning everything that would smoothen everything out. See what I'm saying? Mentally, even also physically. These are the things that I would do. Yeah. So shit like that. That's how I show appreciation. Date nights. Um, doing goofy shit. Not too focused on not having focus on anything. I also understand that women like to be on autopilot and feel on autopilot. So that's one of the things. That's just how I show appreciation. You know.
Yeah. I
Try to make sure that the things that she financially likes or even mentally like are the things that I would provide in a way. You know what I'm saying? Just to obviously I'll do what I need to do as a man, on a regular basis. But it would be one of those days where I'll be like, well, guess what? Don't worry about home, don't worry about the kids, I want you to have like a week off or something. I have somebody coming in and take care, clean everything. That's what we're gonna do. All right. I'll go to work though, so I'm saying is what I need to do. Or if I'm taking a vacation, then we can do something together. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I would do it.
it's funny because like I feel like a lot of relationships don't realize that. Like, it's funny because like we are always looking for someone to grow old with. However, we're always going to be old, right? We need to find someone that's going to remind us of how young we are, because the thing is that we are always going to age and we're always going to learn. But at the same time, like we need someone to remind us, like, hey, we're still fun, we can still do things, and that is so true, like I mean, for being in a marriage for as long as I've been in, that we do need someone to remind us about how fun we used to be, you know, because we get so stuck into our responsibility, and vice versa for men too. Like, like I would totally hype you up, like, yeah, go, like I'm that person, but at the same time, like we forget that, we forget that we need to be reminded that we also feel young and that like it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay for all of that. And yeah, I felt and my ex could say vice versa. I felt like I did all of that, I gave everything and more because I supported him in all of his extra stuff, even so much so to the point where it was financially, you know, and that my son and I was
Financially as well, when he
yeah,
was working,
yeah. I worked full time.
you was working full time and you was taking care of the house and the kid.
Hmm. I
And he
did.
was
And his
okay.
sports and activities that I'm supposed to be there for because he plays softball. And sometimes there's tournaments where it's like Saturday to Sunday, and I have to give up. I had no hobby. I remember when I talked, and I know that you talked about therapists, but I remember when I talked to therapists, I know. Mental health is everything because the thing is that we all grew up from childhood trauma. I know. See, this is how I'm not lying to you. I watched your stuff.
You fucking watch my
I
shit. That's
did. I'm not
crazy.
lying. I'm not lying. I did. But this is where I weigh the I weigh everything because the thing is that I understand where you're coming from and I understand the fear of it, you know. However, somebody being in therapy is not bad, you know, it's them trying to be better for that person. So, with that being said, I remember when my therapist asked me, she goes, "What is your hobby?" And I go, "Is being a wife, mom a hobby? It's not because it's not.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
some. It's a job. It's like a job. You know, it's something that we do because we love them. It's out of love. But my hobby, I no idea, no idea. Because the thing is that there was no time for it.
Do you love being a mom though?
I do. I love being a mom. I
Would you?
love being a mom that I could not be undermined. I love being a mom where I could provide a safe environment for my child. I love
Right.
being a mom where I could let my child freely speak out without the other person getting aggressive. Like I do, you know, because as a parent, we are supposed to protect kids,
Right.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Would you have another kid?
No, I only have one, thank God.
And
'Cause
that's no, no, no. I said, but would you have another one though? If let's say if he was the final guy and he wants to be married
to
and
be
he gives
honest,
you,
like
would
in the
you?
beginning of like my whole divorce, I would say no. However, if I find the right person to support me throughout all of it, I would say yes. Because the thing is that I literally emotionally raised my kid by myself. I emotionally was pregnant by myself because even my cravings as a pregnant woman, he took over that. It was what he was craving, what he wanted, and I allowed that. I remember coming home and he ate my freaking triple chocolate devil cake, and I allowed that because supposedly he was going through the pregnancy, but I'm the one carrying our baby. I know, I know. I grew from that, but that was my life, you know. And if somebody was to show me that compassion and love, that hey, you're carrying the life of our child, and I, dude, I put our freaking packing plate together because he didn't have and it's not even him. Like I'm not saying men are bad in general. I know there are really good men out there. I know that there's men that are treated in that way. Like I 100%. So I don't want to categorize it, but I'm just saying
Okay.
that I had a carry a pack and play during my freaking baby shower. I had to carry everything because it was just easier not to argue. That was my life. Not everybody's life is like that, you know? But I did
Right.
it because it was just easier not to argue. And but if I was to have an equal partner or a partner that was to fill into my cup, no, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't because I wouldn't have to raise the baby alone. I wouldn't have to worry about the weekends being alone where like, oh, you can't go to the doctor king because the baby is too young. And I'm like, well, he's also the dad, but okay, you know. But it's
I
that
got you. Yeah,
part.
I got you.
It's everything is a partnership, you know.
Sure, sure,
And I
sure, sure.
truly stand by that.
Sure. I like your out. I like your thoughts on things. I like
I like your thoughts.
I like yeah, you are a very reasonable woman. I'm not gonna lie. Um, there are a lot of those out here right now, though, but you put things in perspective very well. But what did you do? Okay, so now we know that we know what he did wrong. What did you do wrong in your relationship, in your last relationship?
What I did wrong, and I'm gonna be honest, and this might sound biased, is that I didn't speak my truth.
What you mean by that?
Meaning that I didn't tell him what I didn't like. I didn't tell him that this was hurting me because I was scared. But again, it goes back into feeling safe, but
Okay.
people respond differently, like they do. There's people who respond and they accept, and there's people who respond where they gaslight, and that was my relationship where it goes, they gaslit me, where like, well, you didn't do this and this and this. I go, but I'm expressing to you that like this hurt me, but yet you want to, and I get that that could be a double-edged sword. I do.
Hmm.
But in my relationship, like for example, I remember he set all the boundaries and all the rules in regards to like where I could be, where I cannot be. But this is how, like I said, like there's different levels of control. My ex was a narcissist. Like I couldn't hang out with my old friends. I I was only allowed certain amount of hours with my family, with my newborn, and they could only see them for so long. What happened?
What what would he say? What would he say if I ask him? Now I'm fucking with you.
Oh my God, don't. This is gonna be on on part number two. We'll talk about narcissism. I got you, babe. Got you.
But check this out though. Okay, so you say so. Okay, so so you say what you did wrong was you didn't tell him.
What I
How you
did
feel?
wrong was
Anything else?
I didn't stand up for myself. That's what
Okay.
I didn't voice it and I didn't stand firm because because I know this is gonna be part two. As a narcissism, they play the victim and you feel bad for the victim, which means that you play a part of it where you go, oh, they're feeling this way. Oh, woe is them. Oh, woe is me. That you go, oh, it's too much for them to handle. So I'm going to backtrack and I'm going to take care of everything. I got you on part two. We'll talk about narcissism.
Yeah,
And
I still don't I still don't see what she did wrong though because because
what I did
because
wrong was held back and stand firm on my boundaries.
okay
Without
what did you do to what did you do to hurt him? You know what I'm saying?
I didn't. Well, you know what? No, I must have did something to hurt him. I'm gonna own up to that. I must have did something to hurt him. But I could tell you this, as a wife, I've never cheated. I was honest. I was very forefront. I lost my voice because I was always very honest, and I was always very honest with him. And I always told him, I go, I'm gonna tell you this, even if you don't like it, you know, because that was just me. But I lost that because I got scared, because of the views. But it's not his fault. I should have continued to voice out and to set my boundaries because if I was to set my boundaries, it probably would allow me to get out of my situation sooner. That's what I did wrong. Does that make sense?
Say that one more time for me.
So what I did wrong was that I didn't voice out how I feel and I let him scare me to the point where I needed to trust my instinct to get out of the relationship sooner.
So you saying that if you were to tell him your boundaries, you think that
My intuition, how
yeah.
I was feeling, would it go, hey, this isn't a relationship for me. I need a bounce.
Oh, you think you okay? So you think that you think
I know.
you think you wouldn't be here right now?
You know what? No, I mean, like, I appreciate all of this because it's a learning process. Because the thing is that, like it's a learning process of knowing who I am, because the thing is that I allow people to, and this is in general, again, like it goes back into self-reflection, right? Self-accountability,
Mm.
in general, I allow people to walk all over me, but if I were to set my boundaries and not allow people to walk all over me,
Yeah.
I probably would have gotten out of my relationship sooner. But however, because I went through all of this, I learned a lot about me. I did. So I don't regret anything. I don't. It's a learning process. Everything is a learning process. I truly believe that you are exactly where you need to be in order to grow. I do. Because
Okay.
without all of this, I probably wouldn't grow to be who I am. I probably wouldn't grow to be like the person that wants to empower people when they feel deep down and stuck, because the thing is that, like, again, this comes back from my childhood trauma. It's my childhood trauma that I didn't outgrow, which led into my marriage, and I fully take accountability to that, but as a child, moving into a marriage at the age of, when I met him when I was 17, I was still a child.
Oh, you guys were young. Oh shit.
Yeah, we never really healed. He never really healed from his childhood trauma. So it's just kind of like the blind leading the blind.
Was it your first boyfriend, probably?
He really was, because, like, I mean, I never gotten uh, a lot of attention or anything like that,
So you
Like,
never did it a lot.
huh?
So you never did it a lot.
No, I didn't. And which hence
Okay.
why that, like, after our divorce and everything, like, I
You
still
start dating.
date, because the thing is that, like, it was a lot of self-reflection.
I see. Okay. I
Yeah.
see. I see. I see. See. You gotta tell me shit like that, cause yeah, like for me, it's like I'm straight cutthroat. It's like I fucked up. This is what the fuck I did, and he's fucked up because he yelled at me. He didn't pay for my shit. He didn't consider me. He didn't. See what I'm saying? I think that's what they were actually trying to hear. Um, he's you say I was pregnant. He didn't care for my well being. He was taking me out. I didn't feel wanted and appreciated because maybe I was getting bigger or fatter or something, and he didn't at least maybe pay for my makeover or some shit. Would that be accurate?
Not necessarily, because if you think about it, like, regardless if I did it or not,
Right,
he did. Do you
right,
understand? So they should
right,
know the way to treat a woman. So
right.
this is where it's so important to self heal, because we're all insecure in some kind of way, right? You
No,
know? Yeah. And I've
I
seen
see.
people who dated until they really self reflect on where the shit went wrong,
Right.
and again, it's self reflection that they
Okay.
grew out of that in order to build a serious relationship. Like, I have a good friend who was stuck in a 7 year relationship, and all summer she was like, full on, like, I'm gonna do me, boo. And I go, do you, boo. And then after, you are the how you attract a relationship is how you present yourself. I believe that. So if you are, like, out there doing doing that, people you're gonna attract that, and it's up to you to set that boundary, right? To go, no, I'm not gonna allow that. I'm gonna wait for the next person, and that means I'm not gonna sleep around. That means that I'm gonna value myself. Again, self-reflection. Value yourself, self-reflection, right? It falls back into that, right? Does it
Yeah,
not?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
it doesn't matter if somebody's, like, been dating and been doing that. No, it's all about self-reflection, how
Yeah.
you value yourself.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I truly do value myself that way. I mean, like, it took me a long time to realize that, like, I mean, like, I like, not to, like, again, like we talked yesterday, like, not to, like, boast myself, like, I'm not an ugly girl,
Right. No, you're not. Otherwise, I wouldn't talk to you.
Oh, wow.
I probably.
Is that
I don't
why?
know.
Is that why?
I don't know. I don't know if you realize, but I've done a lot of flirting. on here. I'm
No,
pretty
I know
fucking.
I've seen that, but
I've done a lot of like from the day that we fucking talked yesterday to now. I've done so many. That's why I'm fucking talking to you right now. Otherwise, I would have been dipped, man. Come on. But
no, but did you like how I said that? Like, oh, did you not wear those glasses because you thought you were cool?
right, yeah, yeah. I like that shit. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't- that was that, that was one of the things that actually got me. So I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Now, but honestly, I'll say this. But honestly, I say this though. It's like I see how I see how you want yourself to be shown. I see how you talk about, and what's crazy about it, you haven't talked shit about the man. You haven't said anything wild. You said what needs to be said. You didn't talk shit about him. You your word of choice and your word of choice are very, how would I say this? They'll tell you something, but they're not concrete. You will say something. You say something to me, and I have to really think about it. You're not you're not you're not cut through. I am very cut through. You know what I'm saying? You're like you say something, and you want the person to find their own definition of what it means. I think that I think that is a managerial skill that you have, and I think it's and I'm in business, so I think that is very attractive. But I know this is about you. But I actually adore your honesty. And
Oh,
I also adore your, how honest that you are really with telling me.